Hi, welcome to Universal Balance. Tamara and I are here to talk to you about our body image and our physical food body and how we honor our body. We're going to talk about 3 oils and 1 blend.
Yeah, so the food body, I know a lot of people out there are like, what the heck is that? It's your actual relationship with food, and it's a prickly conversation and topic
It is.
because a lot of people have a checkered relationship with food. I know
Mm-hmm.
I have, and I have relatives that have. It seems like a lot of women in general do just because of the stereotypes and images that are put out there for
Well, the media
how we
really
should
shows us
look.
that we need to look a certain way, and if we're not looking that way, then we are abusing ourselves by trying to get to that point. And I think that's where we get into this perpetual cycle of self-abuse by
Definitely.
denying ourselves food, by overeating, by binging, a lot of patterns that happen.
Exactly.
So I think that these oils really are going to help kind of complement how we can take care of and honor our body on a physical, spiritual, and emotional level.
Exactly. And the food body, when we talk about honoring our
Yeah.
body, is the most tangible relationship that we
Mm-hmm.
have, right? So when
Yeah.
we get into the physical, the emotional and spiritual, on ground level is the food because
Right.
food really contains the memories, those
Food care,
cognitive
right. The
memories.
comfort foods of what our grandma fed us
Exactly.
and what we want and what we deny ourselves and all of that
Exactly.
emotional connection to food. And we need food. When we
We
can't,
do.
we can't cut food out. We really, as a human being, we need food to survive.
Exactly.
So how do we develop
A positive
right
relationship
with
with
food and
food.
our body? So we're going to talk
Exactly.
about how to do that with our bodies using oils as a complement to that.
Exactly, exactly. Um, so as we're talking about this, the food body is so important because it's the foundation, right?
Right.
Everything else stems off of that. Your
Mm-hmm.
health, your ability to do spiritual work
Right.
and emotional work really stems off of your overall well-being.
Yeah.
And so by setting that firm foundation, then we can put up the house, right? We can throw up
Mm-hmm.
the walls, we
Yep.
can do all these,
Yeah.
put the roof on and do all these amazing things when we have a solid foundation.
Yeah.
And the food body is really that solid foundation that really connects us to the divine. When you think about all these cultures, Native American cultures that had reaping festivals,
Right.
corn festivals, even if you're not in tune with
Right.
that, but
Yeah.
just your grandmother being in
Yeah.
a kitchen. I remember mine singing and washing
Mm-hmm.
snap beans and
There's a
collard
whole
greens
ritual and
cooking.
ceremony around food. So we
Yeah,
want to honor that, and we want to honor our relationship with that, and more importantly, with our relationship with ourselves and with our body. And so the oils we're going to talk about, the first oil we're going to talk about is ginger oil, which is the oil of empowerment. Yeah,
nice.
I love
Yeah,
that. I love ginger. Ginger. I love ginger. I love raw ginger. I love ginger oil. I love crystallized ginger. Anything
yeah,
about. And the reason I realized, like, why do I love ginger so much? Is it persuades. It actually insists that we be present and that we're being successful in our lives, right?
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. It's really been good. I mean, like, when you have that cup of ginger tea,
Mhm.
it's a little punch. It's
It
like boom.
is. It
Hey,
is.
wake up.
Yep.
Here you
Yeah.
are. Like, what are you doing? So
Yeah.
that's really really a
Right, because
powerful
it
oil
is
for that.
empowering us to take responsibility for ourselves and for our body and what we put into it. It kind of infuses that warrior mentality of
Exactly.
being able to be um, wanting to take that action of honoring our body, empowering ourselves. So I think the first oil that we really want to talk about is that empowerment. Because if we don't feel empowered to take action, then no matter what we do, it's just going to fall through the cracks, right? We
Exactly.
have to feel empowered. We have to have that sense of that gentle warrior inside of us that says, I can do this.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
that
I,
sense of
yeah,
responsibility, like
yep,
you said. And when
right.
you finally get to the point where you're like, okay, I can't blame this on any outside forces.
Mm-hmm.
I have to accept responsibility for where I
Right,
am. That is,
right.
where you start with
Yep,
working
yeah,
with that oil, which
yep.
is really, really beautiful when you really give yourself permission
Mm-hmm.
to see yourself as a creator in your life because
Right,
you are.
yeah.
It's a matter of this illusion that you're
Mm-hmm.
not, that you're
Right.
relying on outside
Yeah.
power. So when you give yourself permission to step into
Mm-hmm.
that, it's a really
Yeah.
powerful thing.
So, and ginger's got that zing to it. It's kind of like give you a little bit of a zing and kind of wake you up and kind of wake up that warrior energy to realize that you are the creator of your life and what do you want to do with it at this point. Um, and it kind of makes us notice our victimization patterns a little bit and
Definitely.
how we may be self-abusive to ourselves through however we do that with food,
Yeah. Yeah.
or just with our you know, a lot of women just are really self-abusive.
Exactly. And
So,
it doesn't even have to, I mean, we got the overeating, we have the undereating, you
mm-hmm.
know, we have these crazy fad diets where people are like,
Right.
I gotta do this, and where I'm only eating, I don't
Right, or
know,
like
one
three beans
particular
and right, like
I
three beans and
know.
half a grapefruit or
I
something like
know, or
that.
like
It's like,
this grapefruit, 3 meals, you
yeah.
know, and it's just
Uh,
like nobody, you should, your diet is supposed to be a variety of
mm-hmm.
things. You should never just be like hell bent on eating one thing.
Right.
It's just not healthy. So,
So,
yeah.
so ginger's going to allow us to be fully present and to be committed to our life. And so we thought that was a really good oil to start off with.
All right, so while talking about ginger, there are a couple ways, actually, the 3 ways that you can
Yeah,
take it. So,
actually
there's
true.
topically. If you do that, you need to dilute, of course.
Exactly. It's a little, it's got a little bit of a zip to it, so you're definitely wanting to dilute it.
Definitely in like coconut oil, jojoba oil,
Yeah.
whatever your carrier oil of choice is. And
Mm-hmm.
then we also have internally, so it's
Mm-hmm.
generally recognized as food safe by the FDA. When you do that, you want to do about 1 drop per 1 teaspoon of honey, or per like 4 ounces of some sort of beverage.
Beverage, yeah.
And it's really important that kids under 6, not really, it's not
We
really
don't
for
recommend it
children
for
under
kids
6.
under 6.
Yeah. And if you're using it for kids over 6, you just use a larger dilution.
Dilution, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I'll do in the morning is take some warm water and put a little bit of lemon and ginger oil into it, and that will kind of gives you that morning zip and willing to commit to your life in the morning. So it's
exactly.
a great way to start your day.
Cool.
And the second oil we're going to talk about is grapefruit oil, which is the oil of honoring the body, honoring our body. A lot of times grapefruit gets, so you hear about the grapefruit diet, and you know, and grapefruit, poor grapefruit, it gets so abused as like a way of like, it's going to make you lose this 20 pounds you've been wanting to lose before you can get into that bikini, right?
If you survive off of a grapefruit
Right.
a day or at each meal, I just hate that all these wonderful plants and fruits and vegetables have such wonderful just metabolic properties with keeping us in line, and then you get somebody that jumps on it and it's just like,
well, I think the grapefruit,
like
got abused because it really is the fruit and oil of honoring the body.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when you think about taking a diet or changing how we eat and eating healthier, it makes sense that grapefruit would be kind of added into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the grapefruit diet kind of like went off into a fad,
Yeah.
where it was going to bring you back to use grapefruit in a way of honoring your body and giving you the strength to really step into shifting into being more awake and more aware of what you put in your body. So it's going to encourage you to listen physically to your needs and determine your impulses of what you need to eat.
Definitely. And it's another one that's really great for shining a light on those patterns of mistreatment that you have with your body, like the yo-yo dieting, like the starvation, like the body shaming, the neglect, and even, you know, mistreatment that's rooted out of violence sometimes towards the body. So it's a really great oil for shining a light on that, and it really helps with curbing that emotional eating, which is something that a lot of people, I know myself, have struggled with as a mother, you know, of 2 beautiful children. Sometimes it's like hard, and you just find yourself like putting something in your mouth to have, you know, some sort of control, or like, and you have to interrupt that pattern.
Well, we think that we have to clean the kid's plate off, right?
So exactly. Exactly. Can't waste any food.
It's just, So, and it can help with losing weight and kind of jumpstart the metabolism to help with that. So definitely it can be used in that way, which is a useful way of using it if you're honoring the body in that process.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really great because when you take ownership of your feelings, you know, and realize that no amount of food can fill any holes that you're having in your heart or in your spirit otherwise, this oil is just a really great oil for acknowledging what your impulses are when you see them, and actually calling to your attention, like, okay, what are your physical needs? Is this really a need or an impulse? So it's really one of those oils that will pull you in and say, hey, that chocolate bar, do you need that? Or is this your impulse to cope with the screaming or the crying or the yelling?
And then, our own emotional distress, and how do we say, well, I'm gonna have a, you know, instead of denying it, say, well, I can have a piece, you know, I don't have to have the entire bar, right?
That's where I struggle.
So it's encouraging us to have kind of like a loving, positive relationship with our body. That's what I love about grapefruit. I mean, there's something sweet and sassy about it a little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Sassy.
He's sassy. I'm
That's
sassy. It's
nice.
great. It's sassy.
So
Oh.
it's another one that you can apply the three
Mm-hmm.
ways. So if you're
Yep.
going to do it topically, you can actually do a neat dilution, a neat application on this, meaning you don't have to dilute it,
Right. Right.
which is really nice. It doesn't cause any photosensitivity, so you don't have to avoid sunlight for 3 to 6 hours on the spots that you put it on
Right.
after you use it, which is nice. Of course,
But
the diffuser is
yeah, the
great.
diffuser is always great for grapefruit because it smells so great.
Yeah,
The other thing about grapefruit that you need to be mindful of is sometimes it's counter interactive with any kind of medication.
yeah,
So you want to make sure that you're, and a lot of doctors won't tell you that. They'll say, that this they won't tell you if you're taking any kind of antidepressants or
yeah, definitely.
antipsychotic medication for whatever reason. The grapefruit will not interact with that positively. So
Yeah,
just be mindful of that because um, we don't want you to mess up your meds. So just be mindful of that. The grapefruit does have that quality of being able to do
it
that.
does. It does. And just talk to your doctor. And if you have to work something out where they look up what a dose should be depending on what your medicine is, if you can have 1 or 2 drops a day, or just
Right.
Whatever. Be
I think
mindful.
it's just not taking it at the same time.
Yeah. Space it out. Be mindful. Talk to your doctor. Let your doctor know what you're doing.
Mhm.
That way you can incorporate that safely into your routine.
Yeah.
And so the other way is internally, of course. And again,
Right. That's the way I love to take it. I love putting grapefruit oil in my water bottle.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's another generally recognized as safe oil by the FDA. So
Yeah.
again, kids over 6, higher dilution. Kids under 6 don't really recommend it for. And it's another 1 drop to 1 teaspoon
Right,
dilution
right.
or per 4 ounces of drink.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Ooh,
cinnamon.
cinnamon.
This is the next oil. This is the oil of sexual harmony, which is very beautiful when you
Right.
think about it.
It helps support the reproductive system, which is useful, and we can have such a love-hate relationship with our reproductive system.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like when we think about, and that's something we'll talk about later on, but you can get into the whole menstrual cycle about loving and hating that, and
Yeah.
and it's really something to honor.
Exactly.
We're the
exactly.
only women are females are the only ones that have that. So
That
it's-
connection to the
right,
ocean,
yeah.
to the moon.
It's quite powerful.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
And cinnamon will have that ability to heal any sexual issues, sexual abuse, sexual inhibition, sexual frigidity, anything that where we're just feeling not comfortable in our own sexuality.
Yeah, and it's really great for just embracing your physical attractiveness and accepting your body
Yes.
as is, for nurturing sexuality, especially in a higher aspect, in a higher manner. I think a lot of people that aren't conscious and aware, sexuality is not just the act,
Right.
of
Right.
participation. It's there are things tied into
Yeah.
that, as far as how you view your body, how you honor your body, how you treat your body.
Mhm.
Really interacting
Right.
with your needs and wants on a physical level, on an emotional and spiritual
Mhm.
level. All of that plays into sexuality.
Right, sexuality,
So.
yeah. Sexuality, sensuality is kind of go hands in hand. So it
Mhm.
really is about developing that relationship with our sexuality, which, like Tamara said, is not the act of sex itself, but it's about how we feel about ourselves. How do we feel as a sexual being? How do we display that? How do we nurture it, and how we feel comfortable with it, and how we sell ourselves short? A lot of times we're selling ourselves. So I think cinnamon can really help just when we're looking at the sort of archetypals of being the prostitute.
Yeah.
But really, I think cinnamon can really be helpful in teaching us not to have to sell ourselves, however that might be. It might be physical selling, but it is, like
settling, not even
right,
selling, but
yeah.
settling and having those very low expectations.
Right. Or doing something because we think it might please someone else, and it's
Yeah.
against our own sense of sexuality and sensuality.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
cinnamon can kind of ground us in just being able to take a moment and kind of go, oh, who am I? What am I?
Yeah.
And where is my
That's
sexuality?
not me. That doesn't belong to me, especially when
exactly.
picking up other people's
Right.
things that they bring to the table as
Right.
well, as
Yeah.
far as sexuality
Yeah.
goes. It's really great. It's a really great oil for helping helping you open up with honest vulnerability
Yes.
to make way for real, true intimacy, not the
Right.
fabricated
Mhm.
things you read in the books.
Yeah.
And
that's why cinnamon
everybody's
can be a
selling.
really, you see it in, it's a lot of times it's a base for perfumes and so forth like
Yeah.
that, because it does have that sort of sexual sensuality of mutual
Mhm.
connection.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
think that's really nice, burning a cinnamon candle, or putting a little cinnamon oil on a candle or on a light bulb,
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
give that sense when you're with your partner.
Don't burn the house
Yeah,
down.
don't burn the house down. but it will definitely invite that willingness to have that vulnerability and
Exactly.
mutual connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cinnamon can be that.
A catalyst for
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. And
Good.
so that again is generally recognized as food safe. 1 drop to 2 tablespoons of maybe honey or ghee or something.
Yeah, and it's great in ghee and honey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you want to do that if you don't want to take honey or ghee or I don't know, blackstrap molasses, whatever you're
Right,
called
yeah.
to, you know. So shout out to my grandmother out there.
or coconut oil. You know, you can put a
Exactly.
drop in coconut oil and put it on, you know, your
Exactly.
toast or something like that. It's a great way to do it. Yeah.
You can also do it in 8 ounces of a beverage, and then for kids
Yeah.
younger than 6, again, not something that's recommended. Kids over 6, you would increase that dilution.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
So we have the 3 oils. We have the ginger, which is the oil of empowerment, grapefruit, which is the oil of honoring our body, and cinnamon, which is the oil of sexual harmony.
Yeah.
So then we're going to give a blend, and actually our blend that we're talking about today actually has these 3 oils in it, plus a couple of more. I think it's got lemon and peppermint and maybe something else in it there as well.
Peppermint. Yeah, we talked about
we
those
did.
in the very first video,
Yeah.
so it's all coming back full circle.
Right. And this one's called Slim and Sassy. It's also known as the metabolic blend.
Yeah.
But I think it's been kind of picked up as the Slim and Sassy, which is a great name for it.
Yeah, it really is.
Because it
great.
is a sassy little oil.
It is.
blend.
It is. And it's really great because you can pop that in your water if you're like doing teas or something like that. If you want to just have a blend of everything, it's really convenient to just have a few drops in your water bottle.
Yeah.
And you know, with exercise and conscious eating, it is really helpful with boosting your metabolism and giving you that energy to like.
Because it's going to give you that. It's because it's got the ginger and the grapefruit and cinnamon. It's going to give you that empowerment to kind of like stick to what your plan is, and honoring our body and kind of like giving that sexual zing, which is, you know, a great way of carry that passion. You know, passion for ourselves, passion for our life, passion for what we want to be doing. And you know, when you think about being slim and sassy, it's great because slim doesn't necessarily mean having to look like Barbie doll.
Yeah,
you know, it's just being able to feel good in your own skin and in your own body. It's honoring. What I love about slim and sassy, it's really the oil of honoring our inner beauty. You know, and recognizing what's inside and what's outside our body, that there's beauty there. So giving yourself permission to really accept where you're at and who you are right now, and know that you're exactly where you need to be. And if you're wanting to shift and change and become more awake, then these oils are going to really help give you that foundation to be able to do that.
They're going to support you.
To be able to honor your inner beauty as well as our outer beauty. Because, you know, if we're not feeling beautiful inside and we're not feeling happy in ourselves and in our body, no matter how beautiful we are on the outside, it's just not gonna shine through. So this is really about giving. We're in the time and day and age where, as women, we need to shine our inner beauty out and feel really confident in honoring who we are, and what we do with our bodies and our sexuality. So not to be afraid to show that and walk in our power.
And redefining what sexuality is, because it has such a negative connotation. When people hear that word, they automatically think the way you dress and how you carry yourself, and you know, being a woman of the night, I don't know, whatever people think, it has a really negative connotation. And I really think it's important, like you said, as women, for us to redefine what that is and to teach our daughters not to be ashamed of their bodies. I think a lot of that, where the body shaming and the violence and the mistreatment of the body starts at a very young age.
It does start at a very young age, you know. Like I see kindergarten kids like are worried about what they look like, and how they're presenting, and it'd be really nice to let go of all of that and not be self-conscious about, and have less self criticism and awareness, and just be able to be in our power. So we're hoping that by using these oils, that you give a chance to really feel empowered to honor your body, and come to a sexual harmony. You know, the harmony of being able to feel good with our sensuality and sexuality. So the challenge that I want to give everybody is, and the next 2 weeks, I'm going to encourage people to use these oils, and then kind of write back on our Facebook page about what their experience is, and that we're going to take that challenge as well. I'm going to take that challenge as far as using these oils, kind of like, you know, I may not use every oil every day, but within a day, every day, I'm going to use at least one of these oils. And just kind of really become mindful of how it affects how I feel about my body. Because I think, you know, we're moving into spring, even though we're in the middle of winter, look at this
Oh
beautiful
my
day.
God.
It's like
I'm sweating bullets in my jacket over here.
it's just amazing. So our body's going to be really confused about what the
Yeah.
weather's present. It's going to be really good to be grounded and feel
Yeah.
our inner and outer beauty, despite what the weather may be offering us.
Definitely. Definitely.
So, so yeah, so I'd love to hear what people have to say about
Yeah.
their experience with these oils, and we'll check in 2 weeks from now and kind of talk about our
Yeah,
experience.
definitely.
Yeah,
That
cool.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And like Tracy said, don't feel pressed to do every single
Right.
one. Dip and dab, and if there's one that's calling to you, even if you've never tried an oil, but it's like, ginger,
Right.
like that's really calling to me.
Yeah.
Honor it, answer the call, and work with that oil and see what that oil has for you,
Right,
what it's gifting to you.
And I think if people want to get the doTERRA oils, they can do that through our website, right?
They can. Our
Facebook page.
website,
Yeah.
Our websites are listed on the Facebook page.
Great.
So,
Yeah. Well, fabulous. We look forward to having this discussion in more detail in about a couple of weeks.
All right.
Great.
See you later.